Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story of betrayal, revenge, and the power of being one step ahead. It's about Eliza, a successful 30-year-old marketing VP who thought she had it all. I was married to a man named David. I was the breadwinner in our relationship. I bought our beautiful condo in Austin, managed our investments, and was climbing the corporate ladder. My life felt planned, successful, and happy. David? He was a car salesman. I thought we were a team. I was wrong. The bomb dropped on the night I was celebrating a huge promotion. I'd invited David and my younger sister, Natasha, to a fancy Italian place, excited to share my big news. But just as I was basking in my success, Natasha reached across the table, took David's hand, and announced she was pregnant. And David was the father. They told me they were in love and had been seeing each other for months. They just sat there, looking at me, almost eagerly, waiting for the screams, the tears, the dramatic scene. They wanted to see me break. But I didn't give them the satisfaction. I just stared back, paid my share of the bill, and walked out without a word. In the days that followed, the numbness turned into an ice-cold clarity. My own sister, who had always been a little too envious of my life, and my husband, who never seemed fully comfortable with my success, had been plotting this. Their plan was simple: force a divorce and take half of everything I'd worked my entire life for. My condo, worth $400,000, my $150,000 in investments, they saw it as their golden ticket. Natasha probably imagined she'd finally get the comfortable life she felt she deserved, without ever having to lift a finger. But they missed one tiny, crucial detail. 4 years ago, before we got married, my lawyer insisted on a prenuptial agreement. David had laughed it off, calling it rich people nonsense, and signed it without even reading it. He was just eager to get to the wedding. Back then, being young and in love, I just saw it as a formality. Now it was my secret weapon. After a quick call to my lawyer, who was practically giddy when he confirmed how ironclad the document was, I called David and Natasha. I suggested a civilized dinner to discuss the divorce amicably. Of course, they agreed immediately. They were already spending my money in their heads. That Saturday, we met at the same restaurant. They walked in glowing, holding hands, looking so relaxed. They laid out their fair proposal. We'd sell the condo, split the profits 50-50, divide the investments, and, get this, I was to pay David alimony to support their new family. I listened calmly, then reached into my purse and placed a sealed official county envelope right on the table. Before we talk about splitting anything, I said, let's talk about this, our prenuptial agreement. The color instantly drained from David's face. Natasha just looked confused. I opened it and read the key clauses out loud, loud enough for the tables nearby to hear. Complete separation of assets. All property owned before and acquired during the marriage remains with the acquiring spouse. And spousal support waiver. Both parties waived any right to alimony. I just watched as the horrifying reality crashed down on them. The condo, the investments, the stock in my company. It was all mine. David was walking away with his truck, his credit card debt, and the clothes on his back. Nothing else. But I wasn't done. As David slumped in his chair, I delivered the final blow. Since we have complete separation of assets, David, I said, you will be paying child support. In Texas, that's about 20% of your net income. Considering your current salary, I suggest you start looking for a better paying job immediately. That's when Natasha started to cry. Her dream of a life of luxury had just evaporated into a future of financial struggle. I paid my bill and walked out, leaving them to stare at the papers. 60 days later, I was officially divorced and financially free. They ended up living with my parents, and I heard David lost his job not long after. Their new life quickly became a nightmare of arguments over money they didn't have. And me? My career took off. I bought a luxury loft with cash, and my net worth soared past $1 million. The moral of the story? Sometimes the best revenge is simply being prepared. Trust your gut, protect what you've earned, and remember that when you cut loose the people who are only there to use you, you free yourself to build something truly amazing. Thanks for listening to this incredible story of justice. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.